Eco-terrorists strike again, only this time whilst holding hands, umbrellas and a blow-up turtle, who presumably is the brains behind this mindless operation. Say hello to the dumbest climate activists on planet Earth today, who have chosen to target Tesla once again on their mission to disrupt Tesla's mission to transition the world to sustainable energy. Bravo, you plonkers. The BBC reports protesters attempt to storm Germany's Tesla factory. Hundreds of climate protesters have clashed with police in Germany after attempting to storm the Tesla factory near Berlin. Several people were injured, including 3 police officers, during Friday's demonstration against the proposed expansion of the electric car giant's only European plant. Police made several arrests and prevented activists from gaining access to the facility. Campaigners have been camped in the woods in Grünheim in the state of Brandenburg since February. I mean, that's something worth pondering. Camping in protest since February? Have you considered getting a job? How do these people afford to buy the ingredients needed for these rather delicious pizzas? I mean, there's a job opportunity for you. Instead of wasting your life protesting a pointless pursuit, get yourself a pizza van and spread love with food rather than spreading fear, violence and the occasional arson attack. But of course, that would involve real work. They claim Tesla's plans to double the size of its factory would damage the environment. Forget coal power plants or other auto companies pumping out millions of toxic spewing engines each year. This Tesla extension is far worse than anything else they've uncovered, clearly. Demonstrators on Friday blocked a nearby motorway and interrupted the railway service by sitting on the tracks, police said. Where's this train station again? There was also a sit-in on a country road near the factory. Footage on social media shows hundreds of people, many donning blue caps and holding blue flags, running towards the site attempting to gain access. One video, verified by the BBC, shows protesters breaking through the police cordon and entering the grounds of its factory, which is located around 18 miles from the capital. They can be seen heading towards an outlying building at the northeast corner of the Gigafactory grounds. Police confirmed that protesters who tried to enter the facility were prevented from doing so, with several people being taken into custody. And every time I hear that word, I imagine people being dropped into custard and getting all custody. Welcome to my brain. Tesla said earlier this week that the site would be closed for the day due to the demonstration, with employees reportedly allowed to work from home. Not sure how you build cars from home, but well done for giving it a go. In a post on his social media platform X, Tesla CEO Elon Musk also said the group did not manage to break into the facility. Why do the police let the left-wing protesters off so easily? Musk wrote in another post. I'd like to know your thoughts on this one. Why is that? How would these eco-terrorists be handled at the Texas Gigafactory, I wonder? The Disrupt Tesla group has been calling for mass protests against the expansion to take place between the 8th and 12th of May. Speaking to Reuters news agency on Friday, Ollie Becker, a spokesperson for Disrupt Tesla, said the protest aims to draw attention to the environmental destruction in Grünheim. Ollie Becker has also made claim in the past companies like Tesla are happy to destroy habitats for their own profit. Right, if you don't make stuff, there is no stuff. Every object owned by Ollie Becker and the rest of these rebels without a cause has been made in a factory, somewhere on Earth. For those factories to be built, some land needs to be cleared and atoms need to be assembled for your products. Mind-blowing stuff, I know. Welcome to reality. Ollie Becker also claims that, quote, instead of SUVs for the few, we must build buses and trains for the many, end quote. For a start, what's this we business? Are you going to build buses and trains, Ollie? You might want to start the planning process now for acquiring some land and build a factory on, establish supply chains from around the world for components, and then wait for the inevitable protests and arson attacks from the likes of folks like you, who I doubt could build a Lego train set, let alone a real one. And as for these SUVs for the few, the Tesla Model Y, which you referred to, for every Tesla sold, that's one more combustion engine not starting its decade or so lifetime, spewing toxic fumes into the air, and otherwise maintain business as usual for the 100-year-old ICE business, which you might have noticed props up global oil companies rather nicely. And move away from that with electric cars that are running on more renewable energy than ever before, thanks to electricity grids around the world harnessing sustainable energy, homes with solar panels filling up their cars with free, clean energy. This should be the very thing you should be supporting, if indeed you had the ability to think a little deeper than, instead of SUVs for the few, we must build buses and trains for the many. What a simplistic demand. There's a reason why so many people use and need cars. The most obvious is going from point A to point B, something that cannot always be done using public transport. Then there's the convenience, the reliability, the space. Often it's quicker, depending on where you live, of course. And for those that have saved up and worked hard to buy an EV, and perhaps fortunate enough to also have a driveway, the cost savings of travelling by an electric car are enormous when compared to public transport. And another thing, forget the Model Y being the world's best-selling car today, or the fact that you assume these cars are only for the few, despite in the US, for example, where they are cheaper than the average car to buy. Tesla is on a mission far greater than you could ever imagine, with its plans for a dedicated robotaxi. A network of millions of electric, autonomous, emissions-free, extremely cheap to use transport, which over time will run on 100% renewable energy, if of course Tesla are allowed to progress into the future without anti-eco-terrorists like the Vulcan Group, which is what they really are, who claim that no Tesla is safe. Threatening vandalism like this to other people's property is of course just the beginning for these people. Whatever they conjure up in their imagination as their next target, should you not comply to their idealism, means you may well be targeted next, Tesla or not. Will they stop when lives are lost? Or will that be acceptable in another day's work for the sake of protecting a relatively tiny area of an industrial plantation of trees? Some activists have occupied part of the forest expected to be cleared for the expanded factory for months, building tree houses and erecting signs in opposition. Tesla has so far stayed true to its promise to plant more trees than it's cut down. And here's another layer of irony. The very forest they are protecting is not a natural forest. Pine trees are planted there in order to be cut down later on for the production of pulp, paper and cardboard. These trees have been planted to be harvested. It is an industrial forest. Do you think that awkward fact has landed in the minds of any of these folks? Known as the Gigafactory, the facility currently employs an estimated 12,000 people and makes around 500,000 cars a year. Production had to be briefly halted in March after a power outage was triggered by a suspected arson attack. The eco-terrorists set fire to a pylon, leaving homes, businesses and Tesla without power, risking the lives of locals and proving once again that you can't fix stupid. The Vulcan Group, fighting climate change with fire! The far-left activist group known as the Volcano Group or the Vulcan Group, or my personal favourite, the Vulgar Group, claimed responsibility. Two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity. But I'm not sure about the universe. So said that famous German-born bloke Albert Einstein. Not sure why that springs to mind. Let's talk about water consumption for a moment, which is supposedly one of the Vulcan Group's key concerns here. James Stevenson posts on X, a United Nations study found that 3.781 cubic metres of water are used to manufacture the average pair of denim jeans. Tesla uses less than half that much water to produce each Model Y at their Gigafactory in Germany. Are they protesting for the banning of denim? What about the brown coal extractors in Germany, which consume 100 times more water than Tesla? But if we're just talking about car manufacturers in the area, let's see who's winning the water efficiency race. Water use per vehicle production in Germany. Tesla Giga Berlin, 1.8 metres squared. Volkswagen, 3.75 metres squared. Industry average, 3.68 metres squared of water per car produced. But not only did Tesla use the least water per vehicle compared to the rest of the car industry, they also recycle it. Romain Hedruin on X posted, 100% of the industrial water at Giga Berlin is recycled. What does that mean? If you buy a Tesla made in Giga Berlin, it was built using recycled water. A very good friend of mine helped engineer the water recycling at Giga Berlin. This stuff is mind-blowing. The most ironic outcome is the most likely wins again, as we see supposed environmentalists cause disruption to the very company doing the most to build us a better future through sustainable energy, battery storage systems, and of course Tesla being the company to force the hand of every stagnant laggard auto company to follow suit and go electric, which is a massive move away from burning fossil fuels. If anyone is still in doubt as to the life cycle carbon emissions intensity of internal combustion engine vehicles versus electric vehicles, take a snapshot of this and study it until it sinks in. Likewise this one, which shows how much energy is needed to travel 100 kilometres. Note that just 20% of an internal combustion engine's fuel is turned into motion. The vast majority of its energy is utterly wasted in heat and friction, whereas an astonishing 95% of an EV's energy is used to propel the vehicle. A very important distinction, you understand. One mode of transport can run on sustainable energy and have its batteries recycled into new ones indefinitely, whilst the other does nothing but go towards filling our atmosphere with toxic, carcinogenic particles that are detriment to human and indeed our planet's health. What a stupid experiment our species is carrying out, and I sincerely hope that those who have swallowed the lies about electric cars are able to look at today's evidence and reason themselves round to understanding the truth. There's still an awful lot to do, obviously, but electric cars, sustainable clean energy, solar, wind, batteries are all necessary to transform our homes into energy-independent powerhouses and our planet into a clean, green, fresh air machine. A final message to the eco-terrorists. Get out of the way of progress. You may not understand how to actually build a better future for life on Earth, but Tesla and Elon Musk do. They see further, have the intelligence and the manufacturing capability, the 130,000 strong workforce to bring about real change, and quite frankly understand more than you'll ever know, as judged by your ridiculously ignorant statements. We sabotage Tesla today, the group said, claiming the factory eats up Earth, resources, people, labour and spits out 6,000 SUV, killing machines and monster trucks per week. Monster trucks, eh? That must have slipped me by. Do these Berlin Tesla workers look to be spat out, as you put it? Or are they contributing meaningfully to society? Perhaps they'd be better off wasting months on end camped out on a mosquito-filled industrial plantation. You will not go down in history as the eco-warriors that you think you are, but as an irritation to society with less understanding of the truth than the blow-up turtle you arm yourself with. Will any of this impact Tesla in the long run? Of course not. Giga Berlin has already brushed off this stampede of muppets and expansion plans are going ahead as promised, along with the continuation of new tree planting, trees which might one day have the unfortunate luck to house even more eco-terrorists. If you'd like to see more of humanity's finest getting in the way of progress, try this one next. I think you'll be entertained. Comment below, chuck us a like, subscribe for more, hit the bell for notifications of new videos, and a huge thanks to my Patreon supporters for helping me out as I boldly go where no sane person would ever go, into the world of YouTube content creation. I'm Will, this is the Tesla Jigsaw, thanks so much for watching, bye for now.